Assalamualaikum, my name is Viana binti Abdul Nur. Today, me and my friend from class AM11018, we're gonna present about how Royal Police, which known as Pdrm, to manage issue of reducing crime rate in Malaysia from subject PAD 101 as our group assignment project. So, I will start my presentation with the introduction. Royal Malaysia Police, as known as Pdrm, is one of the largest security force in Malaysia. Pdrm was established to protect national security and combat crime in Malaysia. The organization have been divided into several main departments, which is the Criminal Investigation Department, namely narcotic crime and commercial crime. Others departments are the Integrity and Standard Compliance Department, the Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department. These main departments are under the Pdrm that headed by a director with the rank of police organization. Exciting department play a role in progress of Pdrm administration. Pdrm also cooperated with other units in combating crime such as volunteer, auxiliary, police, and civil servant. The Commercial Crime Department is a department that receives many criminal cases related to the issue of online fraud. Fraud cases are commercial cases that record the highest number of reports received from 2020 to 2021, especially during the COVID-19. This happened due to some parties who lost their sources of income due to the lockdown, causing them to use shortcuts by deceiving a few parties on the internet with the aim of making a profit. This causes an increase in year 2021 and became the highest crime case at that time. There are many types of fraud, but the most trending type of fraud cases are on online sales scam, online trading scam, African scam, Macau scam, BEC scam, fake loan, and SMS scam. Scammers usually target the elderly and those who desperately want money in an easy way. This is because some of them consider the elderly to be a group that is easy deceived and also lack knowledge about technology system. Statistics show that fraud cases are among the highest crime in Malaysia compared to other commercial crimes. It's a criminal attempt to transform the proceeds from their crime into fund of an apparently legal. Our purpose in doing this assignment is to show the increase in fraud cases in Malaysia and the way the Royal Malaysia Police saw exacting crime case.
Definition planning is the fundamental management function which involves deciding beforehand what is to be done, when is it to be done, how is it to be done, and who is going to do it. It is an intellectual process which lays down an organization's objective and develops various courses of action by which the organization can achieve those objectives. It charts out exactly how to attain a specific goal. Planning is nothing but thinking before the action takes place. It helps us to take a peep into the future and decide in advance the way to deal with the situations which we are going to encounter in future. It involves logical thinking and rational decision making. Importance of planning. Firstly, importance of planning is planning provides directions. Planning assures that the objectives are certainly ascertained so that they serve as a model for determining what action should be taken and in which direction. If objects are well established, employees are informed of what the company has to do and what they need to do accomplish those purposes. Secondly, importance of planning is planning decreases the chance of risk. Planning is an activity which permits a manager to look forward and predict change. By determining in prior the task to be complete, planning notes the way to deal with change and unpredictable effects. Thirdly, importance of planning is planning decreases overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning works as the foundation of organizing the activities and purpose of distinct branches, departments, and people. It assists in avoiding chaos and confusion, since planning guarantees precision in understanding and action. Work is conducted on easily without delays. Fourthly, importance of planning is planning encourage innovative ideas since is the primary function of management. New approaches can take the form of actual plans. It is the most challenging project for the management as it lists all planned actions, pointing to growth and of the business. Finally, importance of planning is planning aids decision making. It encourages the manager to look into the future and make a decision from among several alternative plans of action. The manager has to assess each option and pick the most valuable plan. Types of planning. Firstly, type of planning is operational planning. Operational planning can be ongoing or single use. The latter is usually created for a specific event that will only occur once, such as a unique marketing campaign. Ongoing plans can include rules and regulations, procedures, and the day-to-day running of the company. Secondly, types of planning is strategic planning. Strategic planning is the foundation of an organization. Essentially, strategic plans dictate the important decisions made within a business. Strategic plans can have scopes that range from 3 years to 10 years. These plans include the organization, missions, values, and vision. A good strategy plan always considers things in the long term and remembers the big picture. Thirdly, types of planning is tactical planning. Tactical planning is supportive of the strategic plan. It involves the tactics that will be used to execute the strategic plan. Within a tactical plan, there are specific questions that need to be answered about what it will take to accomplish the goals set in the strategic plan. The most important question being how the company will accomplish the mission. This type of planning is very focused and short-term. Tactical plans are sometimes flexible and often break the strategy down into several parts and assign actionable tasks to each part. Finally, types of planning is contingency planning. Contingency planning is important for my business because there is always the possibility of unforeseen change. A contingency plan is created for when the unexpected occurs or a major change needs to be made in order to continue towards the goal. Not every change can be anticipated, which is why it's imperative to have a contingency plan in place. Every business leader should understand the importance of having a contingency plan. Combating emergent scams and fraud in Malaysia. How to tackle existing and emergent scams. First, provide customers with the convenience of instant transfer and bank need to engender trust in this system. To protect real-time payments requires analytics that look for changes in customer behavior such as using accounts or devices outside of their usual habits as well as the usual anomalies such as the time of day or frequency of a transfer. The use of target profiling of customer behavior to spot scams yields some impressive results with 50% more scam transactions detected. Second, communication with customers at the right time is also essential. We know scammers rely on creating a sense of urgency, so the ability to dynamically add a break into the transaction gives the customer thinking time and a way to back up of making the payment. By regularly communicating with customers, banks can provide useful advice on fraud prevention and practical checks. Individuals can follow to protect themselves. It is also crucial that banks encourage customers to keep their contract information updated so that they receive timely fraud alerts. Third, using AI and machine learning to stop fraud. While scams that trick customers into sending money are currently an area for concern, other types of fraud where criminals use people's card details or take over their accounts also have a significant impact. The many and varied ways financial scams are executed means that multi-layer security safeguards are necessary to protect customers, businesses, and banks. For example, sophisticated digital identity and authentication solutions create a stronger level of security across products, and channels. In Malaysia, text message 60% remains customer top choice to verify payments because of convenience, but this first generation verification method can be easily compromised with scams such as SIM swap, where a fraudster gains access to your SMS one-time passwords by tricking your phone company into activating a SIM that they control as customers transition to other channels like third-party messaging and banking apps. For payment verification, banks need to consider multiple factors of authentication for a layered approach to security. This includes using the tools available to them such as biometric authentication, which consumers are increasingly familiar with, like fingerprint and facial recognition. Fourth, reduce information silos. Effective fraud prevention depends on having a single view of the customer, the transaction, and behaviors. For banks that have different solutions for transaction monitoring and fraud, it is important to remove the silos and overlapping functionality and work collaboratively. Integrated solutions can move more quickly to spot suspicious transactions across different lines of business, account, channels, and device.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurhalina binti Samsudin from AM 11018. Now I want to present my part that is organizing that used by Pdrm for scammer issue. First of all, I need to apologize to Miss that my English for present this assignment is not very good. For this presentation, it's not very good. So I'm very sorry if my English is not good as expected. So first of all, in organizing have 4 parts: definition, concept, importance, and strategy. So now I want to share with you guys firstly definition. Definition I take 2 American scholars. Firstly, that is Louis A. Allen, that say that organizing is a process that identifying and grouping the work to be performed. Secondly is J.R. Terry. J.R. Terry say that organizing is the establishment of effective behavioral relationship among persons so that they may work together effectively. Now move to concept. I have 3 parts that I need to share with you guys. Firstly is arrange and allocate among members of the organization so that the goals of the organization can be effectively achieved. For the example, Pdrm need to be determined the tasks to be done, who will be do them, who the task will be managed and coordinate. The advantage of this point is all the employees know what them need to do, what them should to do to achieve the organization or company goals. Secondly is organizing dividing work specifically. This will help DPRM to dividing. For the example, Chemical Crime Investigation Department will handle every cyber issue, every cyber scam, every cyber crime in Malaysia. So we have specific police department that control the crime issue around our country. Lastly is organizing process need physical and human resource to carry the plans and attain organization goals, such as a combined group of activities into logical subdivision or department. For example, in detailly example that I want to share, related ministry that is Ministry of Information, Communication and Culture needs to collaborate with Pdrm. So the ministry will share about adverse, will release the poster about scam issue, all of that, and need to collaborate with Pdrm. That is crime investigation department under Pdrm, so them can work together and handle the scammer case in Malaysia together. The advantage, scammers cases in Malaysia can be slowly eliminated if the two organizations work together. A lot of benefit advantage will be we got because a lot of idea, a lot of knowledge we got from the employees, from the leaders that we got from. So a lot of benefit that the ministry will if the ministry collaborate with Pdrm. So next we move to strategy.
For importance of organizing, personally, to encourage cooperation among organization members. This is because everyone have their own roles in the company to attain the organization role. The importance of the department will be distribute work to the team members according their skill and education. The advantage will help to achieve the organization goals. But for more effective ways, the leaders need to guide all the team members to cooperation with others. Secondly, of importance is help to adaptation change situation. That is organizing process helps the organization to survive and adapt the change by making substantial change in the strategy, hierarchy, relationship, and many more. Lastly, important of organizing is an advantages of specialism. Organizing helps in the specification of the job systematically among the workforce, which help in the reduction of the workload, as well get the benefit of specialization, wherein the workers will perform specific work on a regular basis according to their competency. For organizing strategy, I also have 3 parts that I want to share and present to you guys. Personally, a lot of strategy has been done by government and ministry to manage this cyber scam crime issue. Personally, my first point is Chemical Crime Investigation Department under DPRM has given a talk about cyber scam at government and private school. For example, today, 6 June 2023, Inspector Rahman Fitri from Police Seremban Department give a talk about scammer at TPSU 2 at our campus Seremban, UiTM Seremban 2, Seremban 3, sorry. The advantage of giving a talk to the young people, to the student, university student, to the high school student, all the advantage will help the young people to recognize what is cyber scam is, and helps the young people like me to avoid and tricked by scammer. Secondly, the secondly of the example, chemical crime investigation department also give a talk about this issue at certain government office to make sure civil servant to will be aware how important this issue, and helps all the civil servant will be help the civil servant will precaution for avoid them to be a part of a scammer victim. So for the second point of the organizing strategy have been done by government, that is YB Fahmi Fazil, who is Minister for Ministry of Information, Communication and Culture, have been given a statement about step how and what government need to do to overcome scammer issue in Malaysia on September 24th, 2022. Firstly, Central Bank of Malaysia, BNM, Bank Negara Malaysia in Malay, play a important role in this issue. BNM needs to collaborate with Pdrm, Polis Diraja Malaysia, and also Central Bank of Malaysia need to collaborate with a lot of department. There is a list of the organization that BNM needs to collaborate with if want to overcome about this issue. Firstly is Pdrm. Secondly is the Association of Bank in Malaysia, that is ABM. Thirdly is Association of Islamic Bank and Financial Institution Malaysia, IBIM. Number 3. Number 4 is Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Communication, SKMMM. Internally General Chambers of Malaysia, National Cyber Security. 6 and 7 is Cyber Malaysia and Ombudsman of Financial Service. So have 7 organization that BNM needs to collaborate. That is a statement by YB Fahmi Fazil. He give a advice, like a tips to government if we want to overcome, if government need to a solution about how to solve the scammer issue, then BNM needs to collaborate with all these organizations. Lastly, for this point, YB Fahmi Fazil also say that need to collaborate with ASEAN and Interpol to arrest and extradite criminals if the call center of the scammer criminal activities are based abroad. If the scammer is from, for example, from Vietnam or from Philippines, is from overseas, Malaysia, ASEAN and Interpol will collaborate to take a, how you say, like And then we'll take an action to the scammer. For my point here, our government also has been working on advertising about scammer crime in the media social. Pdrm has released poster about cyber scam crime to the public for make sure them aware with the issue. Based from statistic, most of the senior citizen are victim of scammer crime in Malaysia. So our government do their best to advertising information about cyber scam crime on the media social that majority used by them, such as Facebook.
In this part, I will explain about decision making. Decision making is the process of making choices by identifying a decision gathering information and assessing alternative resolution. Using a step-by-step decision making process can help you make more deliberate, thoughtful decisions by organizing relevant information and defining alternative. My first point is police intensify awareness campaign as online fraud cases rise. The Royal Police Malaysia, which is Pdrm, will continue to conduct various programs to increase public awareness and prevent more people from falling victim to online scams. The second one is creating safer living space and secure environment, which means public security is one of the important pillars of nation building towards becoming an advanced nation by 2020. A secure environment is vital for robust and sustained economic growth and well-being of the society. Recognizing its importance, various crime prevention programs were implemented during the 10 Malaysia Plan 2011 until 2015, which reduced the crime index. Next is BNM, which is Bank Negara Malaysia step up collaboration with Pdrm and law enforcement agencies to combat new modus operandi by financial fraudsters. Fraud risk is constantly evolving as scammers continue to devise more sophisticated means of defrauding the public. This include new approaches of tricking bank account holders into revealing their bank details or installing malware on their device. This financial industry and authorities therefore continue to remain vigilant against new modus operandi. The last one is Pdrm over 90 online fraud cases from 2017 to 2021 involving 3.3 billion ringgit Malaysia in losses. This shows that there are still a handful of people who are easily deceived by offers easily and are less aware of cyber crimes. This causes them to lose millions of dollars. Some of the victims claim that they had never heard of such online scams and had never been given information related to this issue. That's all. Thank you.
In this session, we will discuss about the control strategy that has been done by the Royal Malaysian Police Pdrm to manage the issue of scammer that is prevalent in Malaysia. Control can be defined as making things happen in the way that it was intended, while controlling can be defined as the steps that managers take to maintain control. However, different figures have different views on what controlling is. For example, Stoner said that controlling is the process of ensuring that actual operation match those planned. Next, controlling is the process of observing and acting on performance in order to achieve the intended outcomes to scammer horn. Meanwhile, Griffin defines controlling as the regulation of organizational activities in order to facilitate goal achievement. Controlling in public sector is very important. Some of the important include assisting in the management process, adapting to change and uncertainty, to discover irregularities and errors, to reduce costs, increase productivity, or add value, to detect opportunities, to deal with complexity, and finally, to decentralize decision-making and facilitate teamwork. Next, I will share about the types of control. The types of to control scammers calling on the phone. User can use call blocking features on their phone or install third-party apps that block unwanted calls. User should also avoid sharing personal information with strangers and never give out their username or password to anyone. To prevent being scammed, users should not install third-party apps or click on links from unknown sources. Users should also be wary of unsolicited calls and never give out personal information over the phone. If users receive call from scammer, they can report the number to the relevant authorities or block the number on their phone. Lastly, conclusion for controlling. Conclusion: the nature of the virtual world that makes the burden of proof of criminal elements from the point of view of criminal intent and conduct of a criminal. It is felt necessary to enact a specific law to control each category of cybercrime committed against in the public, whether against people, property, or public safety. This is because traditional laws were enacted to deal with crimes that were committed. Therefore, it is possible that there are provisions in the penal code that do not apply to cases involving online. The fact is that we need a mechanism to build up the crime of scammer through a legal infrastructure that suits the nature of the crime of the scammer itself. It is important for the Royal Malaysian Police (Pdrm) to ensure that the laws enacted are sufficient to resolve the issue of cyber espionage. The specific law is important to ensure that cyber criminals can be prosecuted perfectly, and the process of the proving crimes committed in cyberspace can be carried out properly with appropriate punishment. There is no doubt that the law will always be challenged to deal with the new types of crime created by cyberspace. Therefore, the law needs to be updated to meet the unique needs of the cyber world.
So for my part, I will continue with conclusion. In conclusion, people of today, especially the old citizens, need to be taught on the risk of online scamming as the way to avoid it, given the presence of the internet and the volume of personal information that is accessible to total strangers. By educating all people about the risks of the internet, our idea and campaign will help them to be better equipment to handle circumstances should they arise. People will also comprehend the various forms of internet fraud and its method. Online message and inquiries that are not confirmed should be taken at face value. As a result, we provide information on some of the most common methods that dishonest scammers employ to commit online fraud. We must keep in mind that their ultimate goals is always to obtain our money or personal information, and they will non-stop at nothing not to get there. In conclusion, executive exposure to your personal information and living space can cause unwanted problem in your life. Therefore, everyone should be aware of the many type of internet scammer in order to avoid becoming the next victim. I hope that people will be aware more in the future and the scammer fraud will be decreased.